Hey guys, how's it going? It's your boy M.K.S here, back with another video, everyone, and welcome to part 2 of NeuroDIVERSE or NeuroDIVERGENT, whichever term for Shundays, as I put it, or Sundays in other words. I hope both Facebook and YouTube, preferably at least one of them, but preferably both, will upload as well as possible. And I'm finally back with another video because always seems like life gets in the way. That's why I get really annoyed when people call me or distract me or whatever. And my brother said to me, I was just about to make part 2, and then my brother said that his friend's coming over. I know, nice life story, but he said his friend's coming over to get some gloves that he left behind or something. Then his other friend was coming to bring food, and I didn't want to be distracted in the middle of a live video because I know I make them live. So it set me back a long time, and then I went to sleep for too long, and then it's been a bit of a pain in the neck, and not been my day. Just like yesterday wasn't really that great, but that picture behind me, my cat knocked over, that wasn't the worst part of my day. Italy unfortunately lost. I want to get the worst out of the way. We lost 4-1. We were 1-0 up. I know we weren't going to go through anyway because we need to go to a playoff. I'm pretty sure hopefully we'll at least go to a playoff, but I hope we can get it together. But I was thinking that, I don't think too much, but I was thinking I hope that we'll try and get to the main part of the video, but I just wanted to say that I was thinking that when we're winning 1-0, but even before the game I thought at least if we can get a good victory against Norway. I know we had to beat them by like 9 goals, which was never going to happen, but I thought in fact in the end we lost 4-1, which was really bad, especially when we were 1-0 up. But I thought at least if we get a good win, then we can go into the playoffs confidently and hopefully win our playoff games whoever we play. So hopefully we get through in a playoff, which we've done in the past once or twice, but we failed the last 2, so I'm pleased I made it 3 times around. I'm hoping it'll be 3rd time lucky, and I hope Italy can have a miracle and turn it around. And this time next year, I'll be celebrating Italy winning the World Cup, or in June or July, or whenever it will be. But yeah, we'll have to go through a playoff. So that's with Italy, and I don't know who we're going to play. I don't know if the playoffs have been decided yet, but I'm hoping we'll make it 3rd time lucky and go on to turn it around and win. But yeah, the fact we lost, even when we were winning 1-0, I thought maybe Norway already know they're through, or they know we're not going to beat them 9-0 or whatever, or 10-0 or something ridiculous like that. Much I wish we could. They're playing fair play to Norway. They're playing really well. I was hoping some of the teams might do us a favour, but they're on fire at the moment, Norway, in a good way, I guess, from their point of view. But bad for us. But yeah, back in the day, it would be the opposite, I'm sure. But I thought beforehand, actually, funny enough, like, how come with Haaland, how come they can't do well? But obviously, with one player, it's difficult. Like, so many African teams have one good player, 1 or 2 good players, but they can't translate it into a success in World Cups because of being part of a team. That's why it's always like South American and European teams that win. As someone said to me once, it will always be between South American and European teams, because in South America it's like a religion, and European countries have the money. I think he said in the opposite, or whatever. Anyway, European nations have the money to invest in infrastructure, I suppose he meant, and South Americans see it as like a religion, kind of. Although they are very passionate in Africa about football, but I suppose they don't have the infrastructure or whatever, and they have other priorities. But anyway, sorry. Yeah, so a bad result, and I'm a bit worried, and I'm hoping we can make it through. And I'm thinking, I hope we can get through a playoff and make a miracle and go all the way to World Cup and win it. But it's not looking too good at the moment. But yeah, I think that I'll talk about Italy another time perhaps, but I was going to say about Celtic as well. It's looking likely that we had a few manager candidates. I can't remember who the managerial candidates were. I think one was Robbie Keane. I suppose he has an Irish connection, but a lot of people wouldn't want him because of the experience or whatever. In the past, we had Roy Keane linked to us, but to us, I'll say as a Celtic supporter. And we had, here comes trouble again, my cat. I hope he doesn't knock that picture down behind me. But again, but anyway, or knock my tea over. Don't knock that over. Sorry, no, I'm going way off track. Sorry. But yeah, with Celtic, I think I'm going to talk about that probably in part 3. Sorry. 4. I think I'll just try and briefly mention we've been linked with. I think some people are saying, what if we got? I don't know how to pronounce his name, Neil Knutson or something, who's a Norwegian coach who manages Bodo Glimt. But we're linked with, I think it's looking increasingly like we're going to get this manager called, now I don't know how to pronounce his name, I'm going to embarrass myself with butchering pronunciation. I'm not the best at pronunciation of even English words, but I think it's pronounced Wilfred, something. And his surname, I think, is, I don't know if you pronounce it Nancy or Noncy, which is a bit of a swear word kind of. It's basically the same as what Americans would call a pedophile or whatever. But anyway, sorry. But yeah, I don't know how to pronounce his name, so I embarrass myself. But anyway, on to the topic of the video. Sorry, I'm going to move on because anyway, these are pointers number 11 to 20. Sorry, I'm behind schedule as per usual. But I don't want to say about time for and so on. But yeah, it's looking like we're going to get Wilfred. I'm just going to call him Nancy or whatever. I know it's in English, as English names, it would be a girl's name, but there used to be a player called Marcel Desailly, and there was another one called Liliane Thuram. But even though they had girls' names, they were great footballers. But soccer players, funny Americans out there. But anyway, these are pointers number 11 to 20, as per usual. So number 11, I dream that neurodivergent people can change our lives and being part of this support network that I wish to create. I dream that we'll support each other to change our lives for the better. And also I dream of changing perception, talking about changing and support each other, like go for walks together, encourage each other to keep fit, maybe encourage each other to eat healthy and drink healthy. But I don't know if anyone could change me by now. I'm too old to change, probably set in my ways, but you never know. Although I don't want any of the things to be enforced, and I don't want to be too hypocritical. But I know I said I'd love for us not to smoke, drink, and or take drugs, not to drink alcohol, is also not that kind of thing. But yeah, talking about changing perceptions, hopefully we'll change our lives for the better, and talk about success and maybe changing perceptions of what success is, what success means to each individual with neurodivergent conditions or whatever. Like for me, for about 10, maybe 15 or 20 years of my life, I really wanted to make money, but sadly for me, I didn't know how to do it. But from the age of, from my late teens or even mid-teens, mid to late teens, all the way up to my early to mid 30s. So yeah, about 10, 15, maybe even 20 years, I really wanted to make money, but I didn't know how to do it. Although quite a few of my relatives are like more left-wing, like socialists, or even communists or whatever. So yeah, I suppose like my dad would say stuff about people making money being greedy, but I wanted to make lots of money. I thought if you're going to have to work, why not make lots of money and all that kind of thing. But yeah, my dad always used to say about getting a job and all that kind of, and I think he gave up because of the economy or whatever. But nice life story. But yeah, changing perceptions. Like, so it could be like nowadays I'm into philanthropy and fundraising for things I support, like Italian soccer, Celtic, libertarianism, people from former colonies, and tackling poverty and alleviating suffering and spreading peace, love, joy, hope, and happiness. Moving on, number 12. So this support network, if you like, would be, again, as I said in part one, I'm thinking of things that begin with SU, like support and all that kind of thing. This support network would be to help each other to achieve success, whatever that might look like to individuals, but as a group, so support each other. I suppose you could call it a support network or whatever you want to call it. Again, I'm thinking of SU because it's Sunday. But yeah, support for success again. So support and success, starting with SU, just like Sunday. And I wish we had more sun as well, as I said before. But again, redefining what success means to the individual with a neurodiverse condition. And hopefully we can encourage each other, motivate and inspire each other and that kind of thing. And on Mondays, I think I like motivational Mondays and that kind of thing. I said I have this strange pattern. I mentioned yesterday I have this strange pattern with like my initials starting with M and ending in S. So I think of things that like, so in this case it could be the opposite way around, like S for Sunday and M for mentorship or motivation. So SM instead of MS or whatever. But I don't know, I'm a bit quirky. But moving on, number 13. I know I talk about strengths, but I often say, think of a word that begins with S, that we have a lot of struggles as well. So acknowledging that we do have struggles as well as strengths and weaknesses, as well as strengths. And I suppose people could talk about a SWOT analysis, strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, challenges and threats. And from a selfish point of view, as I say, I'd love to see what we could do for Italian soccer. I normally wear the caps, my caps, each one a different one for each video, because I have 4 of these. I probably have some more somewhere else, but in my room or whatever. But I decided to change the order. I don't know if you'll notice that, but I just want to mention it. But yeah, seeing what we can do for Italian soccer teams from a selfish point of view, and creating scary stories and scripts, things like that. And moving on to 14, solving problems and that kind of thing. I suppose it's a difficult one, because this qualification to get to World Cup for Italy and Celtic's short-term success, Italian soccer and Celtic's short-term results and failure or success, whatever it will be, is something I can't really control at the moment. So I guess if I could get involved in coaching and sharing strategies, hopefully I could help Italian soccer and Celtic and show that I do have some strengths myself, and hopefully neurodivergent people can do generally as well as a group, or being, well, certainly as many of us as possible, hopefully, including travelling to Celtic, to Glasgow, where Celtic is based, and working with Celtic and Italian football as well, travelling to Rome and Milan and other parts of Italy. Hopefully we can show what we can do, but unfortunately that'll take longer than I imagined. Oh, I really wanted it done yesterday, or yesteryear, so to speak, but it is what it is, as I say. But yeah, I hope we can solve a lot of the problems, including for Italian soccer and Celtic, but also climate change, global warming, illnesses, diseases, and all sorts of things like that. Number 15, as I say, I hope we can support each other to reach our full potential and work on our ambitions and aspirations. Neurodivergent ambitions and aspirations, and focusing on neurodivergent success stories and things like that. And once again, I dream that I can convince my fellow neurodiverse or neurodivergent people to benefit Italian soccer, Celtic, libertarianism, libertarian parties, former colonies, and the tackling of poverty and alleviating of suffering, and spreading peace, love, joy, hope, and happiness, and making the world a better place for all possible people, especially children and the vulnerable, poor people, disabled people, and whatnot, and also for animals as well. And just helping us to be the best version of ourselves. It feels a bit corny, but for want of a better way of putting it. So to achieve our potential, and I'd love to support neurodivergent ambition and that kind of thing. And as I say, it would be cool to focus on success stories as well. I'm sure there's something else I was going to say, but I'm going to move on to number 16. I dream this will be like a cooperative committee, think tank, brainstorm, network, collaborative, or whatever, and basically a support group, as I say, to help us to achieve our full potential in all sorts of different areas, and give each other a voice, and just basically support each other any way we can. And again, hope to encourage as many of my fellow neurodiverse people. I think that's what I was going to say in point number 15 at the end. I forgot to say, I hope to encourage as many of them as possible to support my 5 causes, but also to support each other. Number 17, I hope we can use our imagination and strengths. Number 18, again, I hope we can talk about success stories and positive strengths and the positive side or insides of neurodiverse conditions. The benefits of thinking differently, and different sort of thinking. Like I think of talking about football, I think of a football team. I don't care if my goalkeeper can't score and can't has a really poor aim. I can't remember the term people use, but and my striker, I probably don't care if he can't catch a cold, as we would say here in England, when a goalkeeper can't make great saves or whatever. Whereas if my goalkeeper couldn't make a save, then I'd really be disappointed. And so I think there's a flaw in the academic system, or many flaws, and probably deliberately designed that way to dumb people down to work for the elites or whatever. But it's not a cookie cutter approach. It's not a one size fits all approach. So we have different strengths in it. We're probably different for a reason, as the sex advantage and others say. So the benefits of different thinking, divergent thinking, whatever you want to call it, and that kind of thing, I think are really important. Number 19, I love to support neurodivergent people in programming and software development, as I was talking about yesterday. But also, I dream that we will help and support others. On this playlist, I made like 9 playlists, and I've added all. I've included these videos in all 9 of them, and they include supporting people from developing nations. I love to support them in programming, software development, and things like that. So just like I was talking about yesterday, I'd love to encourage my fellow neurodiverse people, especially those who know about programming, software development, coding, AI, and things like that, to transfer, if that's the right word, to take those strengths and teach people in Africa and things like that, especially our fellow neurodiverse people, to benefit their economies. And number 20, also in STEM more generally, I love to support neurodivergent people, especially in developing nations, in STEM, and see how we could support others in the future. And on that note, peace and love.